Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, All for Art. Today we're going to be talking about perspective, and this is part 2 of my series in which we explore drawing complex shapes from simple forms, perspective, and understanding light source and depth through a bowl. So if you haven't watched the first part of the series, which is drawing complex shapes through simple forms, I highly recommend you do, as this video builds off of concepts from there, and it's linked in the description below. So today all you'll need is an eraser, a pencil, and a piece of paper or a sketchbook, like always. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Okay, so this is just going to be a quick tutorial in which we try to understand perspective and how it fits into our drawings and how we can use our drawings to imitate better perspective in real life. So basically, when we're talking about perspective, and we're going to use this bowl, you have to draw things differently depending on what angle you're viewing it from. That's pretty self-explanatory, but when we look at this bowl, for example, right now I'm showing it to you as if you're right above it. So you're just seeing the circle, you're just seeing the inside, you're not seeing any of this outside. And so if you were to draw it from this angle, you'd be drawing it like this, like a circle. You wouldn't see the outside. You wouldn't try to stick on some of the outside here to make people know it's a bowl. No, this is what you're seeing and this is what you would draw. And you know, obviously I'll talk about this more in my depth video, but people would know it's a bowl by the way you shade it. Because it's coming up here even. We can tell that it's a bowl because we can see the depth in it. And that's what we need to imitate with our drawings. But anyways, on to perspective. So, see, we're seeing it from straight up. So now, say that we're going down. And so if we were seeing it from straight on, this is what we would see. We wouldn't be seeing this top. We'd only be seeing this. And as you go further and further down, or I guess the bowl goes further and further up, it's like that. And then like this. So it's like on an axis, right? And it depends on how much you're seeing of this and how much of you're seeing of this as to which way you're looking at it. And the great thing about drawing is that we can tell the viewer what they're looking at by our drawing. And so if we wanted them to be looking at this head on, we'd just be drawing the circle. If we wanted to tell them, hey, you're looking at this bowl, you know, at the same level as the bowl, then that's what we tell them by drawing this form. So here, I'm going to illustrate it for you guys. So we're talking about it. If we're doing something like this, where we're going straight head on, this is what we'd want to draw. And since in the last video I already went over how to draw this bowl from simple shapes, I'm not really going to talk about it here. This is just going to be more of a focus on perspective. Right, okay, so this is our head-on view. And, you know, if we're the same level as the bowl. Okay, so let's say that we're taking this head-on and we're going up. Right? Just a little bit, just like this much. Now here we have like still a big part of the side of the bowl. We're also getting some of the top, you know, a thin oval. So, right, we still have our semicircle, but now it's a little smaller and we're dealing with a little bit of a visible oval. Okay, so now you know that you're still at least looking at it a little bit above. Okay, and then now, what if we're looking at it more above? Like this, where it's like barely any of this is visible, and most of this is what we can see. So we have a really big oval, really small semicircle, and I guess it's a crescent at this point. Then we'd go into something like this. Remember, the oval is bigger and it's thicker now also. It's not just longer. It's thicker while still retaining that oval shape because we're not fully at a circle yet. And then we have our small semicircle action. So now viewers know that, hey, they're looking at this bowl from a very high point of view. You know, they're not down here, they're up here when they're looking at it. And Okay, very sorry about that. My sister came in the room, so I had to stop recording. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do the highest point, which is this. And for our purposes, it's quite literally just gonna be a circle because we're not really going into depth or shading like we will in the next video. And so for us, it's not gonna look like a bowl until you add in the depth, until you're saying, this is a bowl, because you can see that it's coming up because of the way we're going to shade it and the light source and whatnot. So yeah, this would be our highest vantage point. It's a circle. And yeah, and this is as if you were looking at it like straight above. So bird's eye point of view. All right, so now let's get into going down. So if we were looking at this bowl, this is our head-on view, right? So if we were looking at this bowl from below, we'd get something more like this, which you can see the top is curving up more, right? Because this is our oval shape, so we got to draw on this curved up top, and this semicircle is getting really big. And yeah, so that's what we're going to draw here. So be something that's looking like and then here I'm just putting in some sort of indication that like, hey, this is the bottom of the bowl. You're looking above the bottom of the bowl, right? Because they usually flatten out here a little bit. So that's just kind of what I want to be telling the viewers. Okay, so yeah, this is you looking at it from below, and then it's kind of the same process, just you're getting more here, you're curving more, you're coming back around. Honestly, I'm not really going to go into like having it like that or anything, because really in what scenario would you be looking at a bowl like this? It's just not going to happen very much. So either way, yeah, that's it. And what I basically want you to come away from this video with is that perspective is really, really important for drawing, because when you're looking at this bowl in perspective, all the other objects in your drawing or your painting or whatever, they're also in perspective, and you're going to be looking at things, everything in a painting, from the same perspective. So you really need to understand how you can draw this bowl or draw anything to fit the correct perspective so that your drawing actually looks real, right? Because when you mess up perspective, you're messing up everything else. Perspective is key, basically. So yeah, I hope this helped you, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Be sure to check out part 3 of the series, which I'll be talking about light sourcing and depth.